Hi everyone, my name is Leanne and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be telling you about my TBR for the 4th round of Tome Topple. This is a readathon about reading big old books, about big 500 plus pages books. I'm going to leave all of the information about all of the hosts down below. There are a number of different challenges for the Tome Topple, but I'm just going to be focusing on reading 500 plus pages books. By the way, forgive me, I am going to be painting my nails while I tell you about this TBR. So the readathon is running from the 4th until the 17th of August, and for the first few days of that readathon I'm actually going to be away with no internet access. That should be a great time to get some of these books read. I'm not going to be solely reading 500 plus page novels. I am going to be reading some other stuff in between just because that's kind of my style of reading. I like to have a few things on the go. Selecting the books that I was going to read for this readathon was a bit of a challenge because I don't have all of my books with me currently. If you didn't know, I am staying with my boyfriend for all of summer. So these books that you see here are the only physical books that I have with me. A lot of the books that sprang to mind to me when I first started thinking about this TBR ended up being like 460 to 490 pages, which was really frustrating that the books that first came to mind as books that I wanted to read weren't eligible, but I'm really enjoying readathons at the minute. I had a great time with the Booktube-a-thon. I actually found it really valuable that it made me pick up books that I may not have picked up otherwise at that time. So the one book that I had physically that was over 500 pages was The Magic Strings of Frankie Presto by Mitch Albom. This was recommended to me probably about a year ago when I went book shopping with Katie from Katie Loves to Read and Aoife from Fred Weasley Died Laughing. Aoife really recommended this to me as kind of like the book thief because it has an unusual narrator, but in this case the narrator is music. Music is kind of my second love after reading. I do play the saxophone, although I haven't picked it up in probably like a year. So this is about a person named Frankie who at age 9 is sent to America on the bottom of a boat and all he has is his guitar and his 6 strings. He goes on a journey through 20th century American music, becomes a pop star himself and realises that his musical talent isn't all what it seems. He can actually affect people's lives with his music. At the height of his fame and popularity, Frankie disappears, and the legend of his music continues to grow. He returns many years later to change one last life. This book sounds brilliant and I'm really looking forward to packing this away with me and diving into it without the distractions of an internet connection. Right, what colour shall I paint my nails? I'm gonna go for this one, so this pale purple. I should not be a beauty blogger. The next book that I am going to read is one that has kind of just cropped up on my radar in the last week or so. I think a lot of people picked it up for the Booktube-a-thon. And that is A Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue by Mackenzie Lee. So this is about a young man who was raised to be a gentleman. His father really wanted to raise him that way and he was sent to boarding schools. But Henry Monty Montague has never been able to be tamed. Monty embarks on a grand tour of Europe and he sees his life that is filled with pleasure and vice coming to an end because his father expects him to take over the family estate upon his return. What drew me to this book was the fact that Monty is an LGBT plus protagonist. He is bisexual, he has a crush on his travelling companion Percy. I'm all about bisexual representation in literature, so I'm really looking forward to checking this one out and I've heard nothing but brilliant things about it. I've only managed to finish one of my hands. So yeah, that is my TBR for Tome Topple. Let me know down below if any of you guys are taking part. What are you going to be reading? Have you done a TBR? Let's have a chat down in the comments. I hope you're all well and I will see you guys in my next video.